All right, guys, we need to have a talk about these Flaperon end caps and maybe a change in order of operations, at least the STI directions. I haven't looked at the normal wing, but I just want to warn everybody else to prevent having to do some extra work. So I'm gonna grab my other camera and take you guys back there to take a look at what's going on. All right, as always, I'm sorry for the lighting back here, but it is what it is. So in the directions, one of the first things you do with the flaperons is to drill holes along the end here, rivet them. I did just like Brian and I used flush rivets. That's no big deal. But the problem here is right after that, it tells you to do the foam or balsa end cap on the far side, and then towards the inside, you do this end cap. So I went ahead and did it per the directions, and while I didn't make it flush, it was darn close. I think the welds were out, but that didn't matter. So I followed the directions, and I high sawed it, and I riveted it, and you can see there's holes here. Then I moved on. You guys saw the video where I did the Flaperon reinforcements, and I went to fit the Flaperon on the wing because I can do the rest with the Flaperon off. And as we both know, per my previous videos, I wanted to be done, covered the wing by the end of October. I'll explain what happened here in a little bit as far as why that's not done now that it's middle of November. But I wanted to get this out of the way first. So the main thing about this is that when I put it on the wing and I went to fit it, this was not anywhere close. So it was, I think only half of it was on the rib. And so this needed to move. Well, it's riveted and high sawed. So not really the best options there. I couldn't really move this, even with all the hinges all the way to the side. It just wasn't anywhere near where it needed to be. So I had to come in and drill all the rivets out, and then I had to heat this up to 600 degrees to get that bond to break. So I got all that broke. I went ahead and came back in and high sawed it again, drilled it again, and now it's in. I still didn't go far enough. I think when I was taking it in and out, and when I finally put the high saw on it, I didn't push it in far enough because there's no real good way to mark it. And if you do mark it, the high saw covers it. So it's like, well, you're kind of screwed in any direction there. So I've already fit it and drilled all the holes on the hangers. So this Flaperon is ready to go on the wing, other than I haven't done this step, which is what I'm going to do today. I missed a couple rivets that I have to come back and do really quick, but then I have to do the end cap down there. Other than that, this is almost done. And I was out working yesterday and I got the wing. I probably need to do just a tiny bit more superfill work and the wings being covered. So I'm going to cover the bottom. I'm going to wait a little bit, work on the Flaperon and maybe the end cap, and then I have a friend who wants to see how to cover with Ortex for his project. I'm going to wait for him to get back in town, and I'm going to finish covering. But I've got a little bit more superfill. I just wanted this to clean up a little nicer for the fabric to lay on. So I've got superfill here, there's some down there. I added more glue to the pitot. I do need to varnish this yet. I haven't varnished it. So I'll come in and I'll throw some varnish on that. And while I'm doing that, I'll probably varnish some more of the wings, or the other wings pieces, just so I can get a head start on the other wing while I'm waiting for varnish to dry, right? Because I have to put 2 coats on that at least, and most of those have 1 coat. So yeah, I would have made the goal of having the whole thing done by the end of October, but between that end cap, and what really sucks is I did both Flaperons. I put the end caps on both Flaperons. I was like, well, I don't need them on the wing to do this step and the control horns. I don't need it on the wing to do that. So it didn't matter. Well, come to find out, it does matter. And the thing that really sucks about it is that it's not going to be everybody's wing. Some people might be able to do just fine with slapping that end cap in ahead of time and it won't matter. I don't know if like that rib and my number 1 rib are glued too far in, or what is going on there, but it's just easier to float that end cap, hang the Flaperon, get the measurements where you need them, and then put that end cap in. There's really no reason not to do it that way. So, in my opinion, you guys should put the reinforcements in, at least do a rough hang on the Flaperons with the end cap in there, and then you can move that end cap in farther if you need to. That way there's just no doubt on the positioning of that end cap. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there in a short little video and give an explanation of where I've been for the last, well, it's probably been about 4 weeks now. I know I just uploaded a video, but that was from mid-October. Really, doing these end caps and then having to go back and fix it, that really took some wind out of my sails. I've been messing with my pitot tube in the background, just kind of, fiddling with it, trying to get it to work. And I bought a $130 flaring tool because that's, I think, all 3 of the flaring tools that you can choose from on like Aircraft Spruce or Aircraft Tool. They're all about that price, so I bought one. And where the pipe goes, there are ridges. And I don't know if they're designed to hold the pipe or whatever, but the aluminum on the pitot tube is so soft that it was actually cutting into the tube. And I was trying to use AN fittings, and the actual AN fitting wouldn't go up over those cuts. That didn't work. And I tried it like 3 times on the same line, which means that line kept getting shorter and shorter. And there's plenty of aluminum on there. It's not going to affect anything now, but I had to end up borrowing a friend of mine's flaring tool just to get it done. It's done now. It's ready to go on the plane. I've leak tested it and let it sit for a couple hours with no leaks, so it should be good. And if it doesn't work at this point, I'm going to cut off the pitot tube and do it Kitfox's way. Frankly, because I'm done messing with it, and if their way, even if it only works for 5-10 years, that's good enough for me. So that happened. That really just spending $130 on a tool that seems detrimental to soft aluminum, which is what it was advertised to flare. Really, that one made me a little mad because you can't return it at that point. And then another friend of mine, the one who I actually helped build his wings, he unfortunately had an incident with his plane, and it is no longer airworthy, so it was salvaged off. But he had an extra windshield because during installation on his first one, he cracked it, So we bought another one, but it got delivered, and then the next day or two is when he had his incident. So it sat. He didn't inspect it when he got it, and I was like, well, I'll go up and I'll take that one because I haven't got my windshield yet, and I'll give you $900, which is the cost of the windshield for yours, and we'll just trade basically. I'll take that one off your hands since, you know, it saves everybody time, and Kitfox doesn't have to deal with the order anymore. And well, I got it home and took it out and inspected it, and sure enough, FedEx had gouged it in the front, just maybe about this or a little bigger, but it's right on the pilot side view area, so just left to center. And honestly, I just wasn't. I wanted a clean windshield, so unfortunately, I had to tell him that I wasn't going to take it, and he didn't want to deal with it, so he told me to either throw it away or flip it. So if anybody needs a cheap windshield, $400 is your best offer. You pay shipping. But yeah, it's a tinted windshield, and it just has that gouge in it, so it's not really something that I want. I want a clean windshield. So I drove an hour up and back and thought I was doing a favor for a friend, and that's just not what happened. And it just kind of, I think everything just kind of added up, and I think I just needed a break. So that's what I did. I took a break. That's where I'm at on this. Hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's pushing with their builds, or saving towards their builds, or is enjoying watching the other content creators out there while I'm dealing with my stuff. So by the time this video goes up, it'll be pretty much Thanksgiving. So hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving. Like and subscribe for the next videos, and throw comments down there if you want to, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.